Welcome to Spotlight on Everyday Heroes. Meet Olga Goldberg, a chemist from Russia who created her own natural skincare line due to her struggles with skin issues. She shares her passion for creating products without harmful emulsifiers, her dedication to her business, her battle with cancer, and her commitment to giving back to the community through her skincare masterclasses and charitable donations. Welcome to my podcast, Olga. So we'll start with, I think I would like to mention and start by mentioning that the reason how I know Olga is by discovering her amazing natural skincare line. I was in desperate need of something for my skin because I had a lot of rashes and my skin was really dry, and I was looking for something. I've tried a lot of different things. I bought at CVS and Walgreens, but nothing really helped. And then someone suggested Olga's line, and they said she's a chemist and she produces her own line. And I was like, to me, that sounds interesting. And plus, she is originally from Russia, essentially, right? Is that where you're from?
Yeah, I'm from Moscow.
From Moscow. So same as me. That kind of established the bridge between us. I ordered some samples and then I fell in love with it and I ordered some more products. And I've been using it for over 5 years now. And I love it. I would not change back to anything. And the reason why I invited Olga is because her passion for her product is something that really inspired me. And I want to know more about your story, why you decided to start your own brand, your own skincare line, because it's a lot of work to create your own product. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about your journey, why skincare. Yeah, I think that's probably a good start for us.
Well, I came from Russia in the 80s. And, I was a blonde girl and I had rosacea on my face, which was a cause of embarrassment for me. And I started trying different skincare products here, and they all made my rosacea actually worse.
Okay.
And since I was a scientist, I thought I will have to figure it out. What was causing my skin so inflamed? And I realized that the offenders were emulsifiers in all skincare products. Basically, emulsifiers are chemicals which are added to the formulations to help mix oil and water in the formula. So basically, everyone are using them. And most of them neutral and will not hurt you, but some of them can hurt sensitive skin and actually damage the skin barrier function. So I decided to make my own moisturizer without emulsifiers. And I started doing research. It was late 90s. Internet was not as good as it is now, of course. So I actually went to the library and to bookstores and I found books. And I realized that I could replace those chemical emulsifiers with all natural phospholipids coming from either sunflower or from soy. They do the same job. They help mix oil and water, but they're also wonderful for the skin. They actually help repair skin barrier function. And all our skin problems are actually in the root is a skin barrier function. When I give my talks and I ask people, what is the common thing between wrinkles, oily skin, rosacea, sensitive skin, and acne? And people are like, there is nothing in common. Yes, there is. Common thing is a damaged skin barrier function. So I decided that that's the most important thing. And I decided to do it. First was removing emulsifiers and introducing these phospholipids, which I use in high concentrations because they're so hydrating, moisturizing, and healing. And after a few weeks of using my first moisturizer, my friends and relatives started to notice, what's going on with your skin? What are you using? I want whatever you are using.
Wow.
Yeah.
You became your own marketer. The result of your work.
Yeah, and that's how it started. So, of course, the products that I used to make in the late 90s and early 2000s are very different from what I'm making now. But I still make them all myself in a small blender. I still don't believe in a big batches.
Yeah. Oh.
I still
Just take me back for a moment. So you made your own potion of your product for yourself, and then take me to the point of where you decided, you know what, the world needs more of that.
Right. So
How did that happen?
after I did my research, I realized that basically one cannot find a product on the market without emulsifiers. It's very, very hard. I found one company I think in England, one in Australia, one in, I think, New Zealand. But in US, it's very hard to find. At least I wasn't able to find skincare lines without emulsifiers. So I decided that I have to make my own stuff. So at first I didn't think about a business. And once my niece was visiting me, and she saw me making a mask for myself from like 11 ingredients, natural ingredients. And she said, Olga, why don't you do it into a business? I said, I'm not a business person. I really, I'm a scientist. And she said, but that would be a great business. Look, you love doing it. It's your passion. And that's how it started. She actually she suggested the name of my business. So the first name of my business was Arboretum. Arboretum.
What does that mean?
Arboretum is a botanical garden, like in Latin. And because I included in my products all kinds of herbs and leaves and barks and roots, it's like basically was Arboretum in a bottle. Later in 2022, I rebranded with the help of my daughter, and now it's called Ayoka Skin Plus Science, because I was really wanted to emphasize the science part of the product, not just the natural part. So my ambition is to create products which are as natural as possible, but also science-based.
Yeah. And and I know obviously my feedback on your makeup, but what has been, like when you first started out with going business route, right? It's no longer for yourself, it's for other people. What kind of challenges that you experienced maybe with your mindset? Were you worried that, oh my God, no one's gonna love this? Or like, how did you overcome those mental blocks?
Yeah, it wasn't really a business right away. So it was more like a very serious hobby. And I was, at that time, I was 40 years old. I had 2 young kids and a full-time job. So the only time I had to do it was after kids went to bed, basically. And I went to my basement where I created like a little lab. So it was a big challenge because I didn't have much time, but I had a passion. So when there is a passion, you always find the time, right?
Yeah.
No matter what. The weekends, the evenings, and I was inspired after I gave samples to my friends and relatives that they all loved my product. That was really what made it.
That was the pivoting moment for you.
Absolutely, yes. Okay. And they wanted more. And they said, can you make me a night cream? Can you make me a serum? Can you make me an eye cream? So that's how it all started. And I slowly started doing more and more research on the ingredients, choosing the best ingredients very carefully, and experimenting with them. So it was a serious hobby till I retired. And after I retired from Mass General Hospital, where I worked as a lab manager for the last 18 years, now I feel it's my full-time business. It's my baby. It's my retirement project, and it's my passion. I love it. I love doing it, whether it brings money or not bring money. It's still my passion.
And I can tell that you're using your products because you look like the youngest retiree I've ever seen. Your skin looks amazing. 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 So you are a product of your own product.
Yeah, I mean, as I explained before, using products without emulsifiers and introducing phospholipids makes a huge difference if you do it long term, especially. They not only can help with the small wrinkles that are just forming, but also can prevent wrinkles from occurring in the future. That's what I'm trying to do.
Right. And so obviously, you must have a lot of people that are supporting what you do, people that love your product, people that rave about your product. What about people that don't support you? Do you have people that maybe in your circles that say, I don't know, that creams, I don't know, why is she doing this? She shouldn't be doing this. Like, do you Are you influenced by any of those haters, I call them?
I mean, I don't have haters, but yeah, some of my relatives said, so why are you still doing it if it doesn't bring you much money? It's better to travel and, go on vacation and spend more time going dancing or any kind of fun things to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the definition of fun, right? Definition of success, as you said. For me, success is not just money. It's if it would be measured by money, I would not be successful. And success for me, it's not just a point. It's a process and a very gratifying one. Since my business is my passion, it makes me very happy to see my customers returning year after year and setting up subscriptions. I have about 65% returning customer rate according to my Shopify analytics.
Wow, that's
And
big.
yeah, and I'm so happy when customers write to me and say how they love my products and how they want to make sure I will never retire from my business and never stop making my product. And a lot of my customers are locals, and they some of them come to pick them up. And this way, I made a lot of new friends even. Last year, when I was sick after my breast cancer diagnosis, some of my customers would drop by and bring me flowers and food, which was very touching.
So not only you developed a product that helps so many with their skincare needs, you also developed a community.
Relationships. Yes, I developed a community, and it's actually one of my goals is for Ayoka is to give back. So to express the gratitude that I have and we have and my daughter to people, to our friends and surroundings and the life that we have. So every year, starting from the year 2000, I am doing once a year, I have an annual event, masterclass in cream making. Whatever money I make that year, I donate to a cause of my choice. So last year, it was for rememberus.org. It's an organization which helps Ukraine. And I do the same this year. So the event will be May 12th in my house. I will explain to people, I will give them a short talk about ingredients and skincare and self-care. And I will make a simple cream in front of them and put it in the jars and give them active ingredients and aromas to customize their own cream. So it's a very fun event for women and teenagers. I invite everyone who listens to this podcast to consider coming to my event.
Yeah, so how can they learn more about that and your skincare?
Yeah, so I created an event in a Facebook event. It's called a masterclass in creating your own moisturizer. So you can look it up on Facebook. It's also an event in Eventbrite. You can look for it there.
Yeah, we'll list all your contact information, including your website, your Facebook page. So those that are interested will be able to get to you from those credentials. So that's great. So yeah, it's coming up. It's less than a month.
I know, and I do it on Mother's Day because it's something that we could give, people could give to their mothers as a gift.
Oh, that's such a sweet thought. I mean, I can tell that you are, penetrated with that love for what you do. That passion feeds every day of yours. So how does it feel to now be retired, waking up every day?
I am grateful. I am grateful for my life, for my career in science, the people whom I worked with. I'm grateful for the opportunity that I can afford to have my lab, my business, that I can afford to give back. I am extremely grateful for that. And actually, every night when I go to bed, I am thinking about what I'm grateful for today.
Oh my God, what a sweet message. I didn't expect this answer was like, makes me tear up.
It's actually it's a nice habit to do. Yeah, but and I have a lot to be grateful for. I have a 2-year-old grandson next door. I have these wonderful customers who keep coming back to get my products. I have my wonderful family. where I get a lot of support.
Oh, that's awesome. What an amazing, amazing interview. I really appreciate you. Now, if you could, knowing what you know now, if you could do it all over again, if you could relive your life again, is there anything that you would do differently?
Yes. I would, when I was younger, when I just started doing my skincare, I was really stressing a lot. It was a lot of stress to have a full-time job and young kids, and my husband is basically is like my oldest son because he's not very helpful at home. He's a psychiatrist. He's not good with housework.
Yeah, he's busy at work.
Yeah, and I wish I could learn to meditate in those younger years, which I do now regularly every day. And I actually lead a small meditation group on Zoom every week. But when I was young, I didn't really pay much attention to it. And I know it would help me to get over that stress that I had.
That's a great advice. Great advice. Yes, we do need, especially with everything that's going on in the world, we need to find that moment of peace for ourselves where we connect with our inner soul, in our inner anchor, if you will, and just disassociate from everything, from that media, screen stimulation, everything that's going on around us, right? Just kind of like drop into that piece of silence within you.
Exactly.
Great message.
This is like coming home for me. Meditation is like coming home.
Yeah.
And also cultivate the sense of gratitude. It's also very helpful, which I didn't appreciate when I was younger. This is something that, we get such an amount of negative news with all the wars going in the world. We need to balance it with something good. And balancing it, we always have to find something we are grateful for. I think this is very important.
That's a brilliant message because I think naturally our mind goes to, oh, she has this, I want that. Or so naturally our mind goes to, oh, I have a lack of this, I have a lack of this, she has that, I don't have that. But what about what you have? I think the biggest asset that we have is our health. And you going through the challenges you went through with your health, I'm sure that elevated that sense of gratitude and realization. I think only when we get sick, we realize how much we've had, right? It's not until you lose something you realize.
Absolutely. We take our health for granted. And I really realized it last year when I got my diagnosis on April 28, 2023, and it was such a shock. And I went for a walk for 4.5 hours along the Charles River, trying to digest it. And it was so hard to digest. Why me? Why it happened to me? What did I do?
Yeah.
And then I had a very, very hard summer with chemotherapy and radiation and surgery and everything. So, but at that time I realized, how important it is to have family and friends. And I realized who is my real friends. As they say in Russian, друзья познаются в беде. Your real friends are there for you when you're in trouble.
Yeah. 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 That's
so. And I had such wonderful people and customers, as I said before, who cared for me and checked on me and brought me. One woman went to some farm and she brought me organic vegetables and fruits and drove them over. And they brought me flowers and just nice, good messages that really supported me last summer.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm sorry you had to go through, but it sounds like you're on the other side and you came out with so much more insights and that completely changed your perspective. And now you are being fueled by that passion for what you do. So I think that's also going to be a purpose, right, in life right now. So once you conquered the cancer, you were able to focus on what's important and giving back in so many different ways. And it also talks about the fact that the products that you're producing, everything we put in our skin, everything we eat and everything we put in our skin, it all absorbs, but also if it's chemicals, right, it will come out in one way or the other.
Absolutely.
So you got to be careful. And, as you said, with you producing skincare that's good for your skin, right? Like you have to be really careful about what you put on your skin. And
Absolutely. And especially when I was in chemotherapy and my skin became extremely dry, I started experimenting with my products and I realized I could use them differently. So actually, I'm working on protocol now for cancer patients to use my products a little bit differently, in a different order and in a little bit differently. So it would help. It would help people who going through treatment.
you know what I love? That you took that, I don't want to call it mishap, but you took that sickness, right? And you took that, unfortunate event and you turned it around in a way. So you're creating something positive right now for people that also going through this, because you can not only empathize with them, but you also know what's necessary, what was necessary for your skin at that moment. And you know that people that are going through something like that or will go through something like that will need exactly that. So kudos to you. Kudos to you for seeing the opportunity.
Thank you, Katrina. I actually made my own radiation cream.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Is that available on your website too, or?
No, I didn't market it yet. Didn't market it yet. It's a big thing to bring a new product on the market. I have to, think of package. It's a lot of cost to do it. But I'm in the process of doing part of my site for the oncology patients.
Got it. Wow. That's going to be really big, Olga, really big. I think that, I know that there's a big market for that, especially in the United States, because unfortunately people do struggle with cancer, different types of cancer, and radiation does take the best of you, unfortunately. So if people do need that cream before it hits the market, maybe is there a way to reach out to you directly and get a sample? Or...
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. I really love when people email me or text me, and I am happy to send some free samples.
Amazing. Well, I'm glad we spoke about all those things. I think we covered in like the 20 minutes that we just spoke. We covered a lot of different topics, a lot of goodness, a lot of wisdom. Is there anything else that we did not talk about that you wanted to bring out to the world as we wrap up our interview?
Just my advice to be mindful of what you're using on your skin and maybe read about those emulsifiers that might be hurting the skin, especially sensitive skin with acne, rosacea, or just aging skin.
Perfect. That's a brilliant message, Olga. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Katrina.
Your moments of strength and moments of weaknesses. I really, really appreciate the honesty and all the wisdom that you brought to our listeners today.
Thank you so much for doing
an awesome story. And I really, really wish you success with what you do, because it's coming from your heart and, it's not financially oriented, but, I hope that it will continue to go to people that really, really need to use the products to help them with their skin issues.
I hope so. Thank you, Katrina.
Thanks for tuning in to Spotlight on Everyday Heroes. Did you enjoy hearing the inspiring story of our guest? Are you feeling motivated to carve out your own unique path to success? If so, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And if you want to join the conversation and share your own success story, or if you have a guest recommendation, head on over to our website at www.capitalturners.com and let us know.